If you missed our last video, which was the Q&A and kind of like life update, we're moving to Alaska. We are driving from Mississippi, where we were living, all the way to Alaska. We already drove Mississippi to Louisiana to Texas, back home to Oklahoma, back home to Kansas for a while for the holidays, and then through Colorado. So we did Colorado yesterday.
Hi.
This is our packing setup.
The highway right next to us, as you can probably hear.
We just crossed the border into Colorado, and it's windy.
It's so colorful.
It's 70 degrees out. So we're getting really lucky on this portion of our drive so far.
And as usual, Ella's cowering in the back.
I don't like being in the car. Turns away. There it is.
Our first mountain.
It's our first mountain. We've definitely gained some elevation. So we're about an hour from Denver, 2 hours from Fort Collins, which is where we're staying tonight. Also, please disregard my voice. I've had terrible allergies because we were in Kansas for a couple weeks, and I think I'm just allergic to the whole state.
Yeah, it's also really dry.
Yeah, which we're not used to, coming from Mississippi. We are back on the road today, and we just entered into Wyoming. Our goal today is to make it to Billings, Montana, and tomorrow we cross into Canada.
Yippee!
Woo! Woo! It's about 300 miles and 5 hours later, but we are officially crossing into Montana here. Christian's setting up our tripod so we can do our little video. Northern Wyoming is gorgeous, and it's kind of desolate. Like, you'll pass through these little, small, medium-sized towns, but other than that, there's not a ton of people on the road. I say as an 18-wheeler flies by. The weather is actually really good. Despite there being a ton of snow on the ground, it feels pretty good out here. But we only have like an hour left until Billings. About to roll out of Billings, Montana. We stayed at the Hilltop Inn last night, and it was actually pretty good. It's right by a hospital, about $100, free breakfast. Today is our border crossing day, so we are heading all the way to Calgary. We're hoping that the border doesn't take too long and that it goes without issue. We have all of the paperwork we think we need, but fingers crossed. This is our third gas station, trying to get gas here in Great Falls, and none of them are working. Like, the first one didn't take, the car got stuck.
The most reputable gas station in all of freaking northern Montana, please, because this one's terrible.
We are about an hour or two from the border, I want to say.
There's a Conoco.
There's a Conoco. Conoco. We're going to start calling it Conoco. Is it working?
I think we're good.
I think it's working. Mobile. That is it's your stop for gas here. Make sure you go to Mobile. Mobile 1. My concern is the amount of stuff we have back here, but we don't need produce. We just have packaged food, so.
Yeah, you got cuties on the ground.
I got cuties. I don't know if I can bring cuties into Canada.
Yeah, don't. We're not trying it.
I'm gonna Google it. He's been trying to get me to get rid of these cuties for like, since we left Wichita, which is like 3 or 4 days.
No problem with cuties, okay?
He's a cutie hater.
But when they're on the ground and they get out of the bag and they run around and have the time of their life.
How many do we have left?
On the floor.
Let's eat one cutie per 20 minutes and then we'll use them all. I hate throwing away food. We have proof of address. We have proof of employment. Our car is registered in Alaska now, so
It's true.
should be good. Should be good, right? Look at our dog. She's registered. We are about 1 mile from the border. We are about to pull up into the Canadian Customs. I don't know why I feel nervous. I feel like I always feel nervous when I cross any border. All right, here's the border. Ah, here it is. Nice little tiny wait here. Got lucky. It's 3:30. There's like 2 cars in front of us. Look, there's a literal border totem pole or column. There's a literal border column at the U.S.-Canada border. Oh, by the way, the border crossing went well. She asked us just questions like normal, like, do you have ammo, food? Are you selling anything? I said, no, we're just moving. She's like, okay, go. So look, ready? Ready? In the U.S., Canada.
We're here. We've arrived in the beautiful state. Is it a state? The beautiful province of Alberta. We're very excited. There's a lot to be done in the next few days.
We're doing a lot. Tonight we head to Calgary, so we're still about, what, 3 hours? 3 hours from Calgary. But tomorrow we head into Banff for 3 days. And we're going skiing at Lake Louise. Well, not at Lake Louise, but at the Lake Louise ski resort.
What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go and burn all bridges. All I know.
If you want to drive to Canada but are worried about the desolate portions and in using the bathroom, don't worry. There's plenty of little rest stops all along the highways.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell, bye-bye.
There's dogs barking in the TV show and she barks back at them.
We're trying to decide which TV show to leave on while we go get dinner. But we made it to Calgary. It's like 8 o'clock. We made really good time. We left Billings around 9:30. It took us, like 10 and a half hours. We are gonna head out for dinner. I found a really cool sushi spot close by. We're back in the car for our last kind of travel day before we stay in Banff for a while. And by a while, I mean like 3 days. We have an hour and a half to Banff, but we're actually gonna head into Banff, the actual park area, Pito Lake first. So we're gonna make a whole video on that. But, oh my gosh, look how beautiful these trees are. Oh, those are so pretty.
And the river.
And the river. Okay, for real, see you in Banff. After we get Tim Hortons.
Oh, this one looks nice.
$1.36 a liter.
Deal.
The way it works is there's 4 liters in a gallon, and then it's 75 cents Canada to the $1. No, I'm not doing this right. Okay, go ahead.
75 cents per $1 US. So whenever you're doing any sort of calculations.
Or wouldn't it be the other way around? Okay, just get gas. I'm gonna think about this.
All right, yeah, look it up.
Basically, our dollar is, like, we get a better bang for the buck here. Every $1 we have is equal to $1.35 Canadian. There's almost 4 liters in a gallon, which means that you can kind of take price, so it's like 136, so times 4 would be about 5 Canadian times 75%, which is about 360, 370 USD a gallon is where we're at right now, which is about $1 more than where we were in the US. So it's really not that much more. We knew we were gonna be paying more in Canada, so we were prepared for it. And since we're moving for his job, we do get a per diem rate.
I'll have you know, I just almost put diesel in our car, but thankfully in Canada, the nozzles are bigger, so you can't fit the nozzle into your gas tank.
How did you almost put diesel in the car?
Because it's on the left side like ours usually is, whereas ours is on the right side.
Okay, so pro tip.
Well, you have
Check your nozzles.
You have nothing to worry about, because it's, like I said, the cylinder
I think
is too
isn't
big.
it bigger in the US too?
I don't know.
I guess you've never tried in the US, have you? Either way, okay. Almost put diesel in the car, that's fine. So on that note, I'm gonna go to Tim Hortons because we're in Canada and I feel like you have to. And then we're gonna get on the road to Banff. But thank you. So we paid 42 Canadian for a little bit under half a tank. Tim Hortons.
To me, ho-hos.
Tim Hortons. Where are you?
Time for coffee.
Vanilla and coffee.
Yep.
Okay, and then
Thank you.
This is kind of concluding the first part of our moving to Alaska series. I know most of this video has been in the car, but honestly that's been an exact representation of what we've been doing for the past 3 days as we just drive as far north as we can, as quickly as we can before hitting the Alcan. So we'll see you in Banff, which we're really excited about. We've never been to Banff during the winter, just the summer. You excited?
I'm very excited.